It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we're running it back with the two teams from Super Bowl VI. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins, and it's coming up next.
The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet him before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Throwing to start here is Tua. And Tua going to slide to a halt, but he will have the first down. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4, second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. Again, it's Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Looking to pass. Tua. And this is going to be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch. But even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They run here with Rico Dowdle. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Prescott to throw it. He's letting it fly for Cooks. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 71 yards. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. In motion left, Hill. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Motion man is Berrios. On 1st down, back to Achane. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Slot man moves right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. That is caught. He's got a first and maybe more. And all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. One more time with Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Dolphins are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. 3-4 defense, and that O-line really dominated the D-line on that play.
And think of it this way. With a 3-4, you have a natural bubble over each guard because those guys don't have defenders over them. Oftentimes, if you want to run up the middle, they can get upfield and get on the linebackers right now, and that gives the running back a heck of a chance to get into the secondary.
And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Prescott. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. Now Prescott. Going right back to Ferguson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They run again with Dowdle. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. A running play, it's Dowdle. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Prescott from the gun. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
On the run, it's Dowdle.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry. No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 16. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game. And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Miami set to take over. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 41 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Achane on the counter. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
A run straight ahead with Achane. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, That's a big day.
In motion, Hill. Now a man who tore up the Packers in the NFC title game a few years back. It's Raheem Mostert. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
In motion, the tight end. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Well, we're going to get a timeout as they deal with an injured player, and it's Tyreek Hill who is the man that's in some discomfort right now. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. This a 2nd and 8. Washington in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
On 3rd down, H.M. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Devon H.M. with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have moved out in front. Sanders now to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the drive finished off with a touchdown run from Devon Achane. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Here's Prescott. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Prescott. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on 4th down. Malik Washington deep for Miami. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. The Dolphins offense and running back Devon Achane making their way back out. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Second down and 3. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play there just before halftime. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. And again, it's Tagovailoa. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, as the first half is winding down. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. And the Cowboys going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Prescott down. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
To throw is Prescott. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Sorry, Coach. We'll catch up with you after the game. We're going to skip through halftime here and headed back to the field for the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 76 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Looking to throw. Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
They run here with Dowdle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Breaks through the contact. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. It's Ferguson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be set up with a first and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Rico Dowdle. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are back within a couple of the lead.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And a little quarterback draw option works to perfection for him.
Yeah, it's hard to account for the quarterback in most situations on defense, and that's why the quarterback draw is so successful. Everyone else covered, makes a little fake, runs into the end zone.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Play action. Now it's Tua. And he completes it to Berrios. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A give, running right, Achane. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to that end zone real fast.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead.
So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick. He's been decisive. And he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. And now here's a carry heading left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott, incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That fifth defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football.
The home team's offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. And the slot man goes in motion left. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
But just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Tua going to throw. Flush to his right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Up the middle, Achane.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On play action, Prescott.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Prescott to throw it.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
On 2nd and 10, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Ferguson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Here's Prescott.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
These guys off the edge are already tough to contain when they're protecting a stationary target. Asking them to hold their blocks when a runner is struggling to find a lane, often an impossible task. Regardless of the outcome on the scoreboard, that will be one of this game's biggest stops.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Motion man is Berrios.
On play action, here's Tua.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
The Cowboys offense and running back Rico Dowdle headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Now Prescott.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he is going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage. And we'll have a stoppage as well as we have reached the 2-minute warning.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here now, 3rd down. To throw, Prescott. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Now Prescott.
Throw complete right side to Cooks. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
This is 1st and 10. Now Dak.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make-or-break onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Achane gets it from the gun. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This to swell the lead to 6. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last shot now for Prescott. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.